and then you'll die.
Hello there, YouTubers. Trifecta Terminus here. You can call me Terminus for short. Today we're going to take a look at SpaceCrew. It's a new game that, well, it's not a new game. It's a new game for us, but not a new game. So SpaceCrew is a child game of a game called Bomber Crew. You got a bunch of these different locations. This is the mess hall. In the mess hall, it allows you to kind of see the stuff that's been going on, your last mission, stuff like that. You'll find news stories that show the missions that you've been doing. But basically, in this game, you're a crew of a cruiser type ship. Aliens have attacked Earth, and you're part of the defense force to defend humanity. You can see there are some of my characters. They're the ones in the bright red with the helmets on. You'll see your characters moving in and out of this mess hall. In recruitment, you've got recruits here. Currently, I've got a full ship, so there aren't any more spaces, but there's 5 different job types. You've got the pilot, the comms officer, the security officer, engineer, and then the weapons officer is just anyone who mans a turret. These positions are, the more that your crew gains knowledge, they're gonna get extra skills based on that. When you move into crew gear basically allows each of your characters to wear whatever it is that you can purchase. Each mission gives you credits. There's presets, so you can take these preset uniforms. Some of them still are blocked out because I don't have enough resources or enough research data to pick them up. But I usually do custom loadouts, so you can pick individual crew members depending upon where they are on the ship and what you want them to do. They've got the suit, which is your chest piece and leg piece. It's got armor, how fast it makes you move, or in that last case, how slow it makes you move. Your holster, you got a retrieval tool or a revival tool, which helps you heal people. A engineering tool, which helps you fix instruments. This is a personal cloak, and then a personal shield for your individuals. Then you got gloves. There's lots of different gloves. Some of them, when you're fighting, you'll have damage that will cause radiation, or a boost that will cause some type of radiation. So some of these suits and or gloves are geared towards radiation, but we're gonna get this guy some armored gloves to increase his overall armor rating. Certain boots have, you can see these boots actually have magnetic shoes, so you only have a certain amount of power in your ship, and one of the ways you can keep the guys on the ground is to remove the gravity, but give them all magnetic boots so they can still walk around. So those are the different types of gear that you have. We didn't go over helmets, but some helmets are literally just that. Others, like the helmet that they're wearing now, actually has air in it, so that they can survive when you maybe evacuate all the air out of the ship. So these are just different individuals, and if you can see there on the left-hand side, this is the security officer. He has a secondary skill that I've given him, which is gunnery, and then these are the gunnery guys with the secondary engineering skill. You can also customize the different individuals. You can customize their bodies, make them guys, girls, their hairstyles, their colors, the hair color, that is, skin color as well, the type of mouth that they have, and their eyes, and then finally the color of their eyes. You can also change their names. This is the proper name and then the surname. Yeah, and so that's pretty much your character creation tool. You can go to training. Again, there are 5 different types of qualifications. Once you reach a certain skill level, you'll be able to create or to use a secondary skill, and the more that you gain experience, the more different attributes that you'll be able to use while you're in whatever role you're in. So these engineering attributes would only be if you were sitting in the engineering space. One of the big problems that I have with this game is that you've got 5 characters, or 6 characters actually, and really you need 7. So for this game to work, you kind of have to pull one of your guys off of a primary, actually 2 different gunnery stations that are unmanned, and you have to pull one of your guys out to actually man those stations. This is a picture of the wardroom, so that's my ship. These are the different categories of things that you can do to the ship. So armor, you can add armor plating, and as you click on this armor plating, it just adds stuff. You got systems. So this is the shield, then the gravity generator. I generally turn the gravity generator off. Oxygen generator, the reactor itself, and then the medical bay. The medical bay, the more medical bay you have, the better medical bay you have, the more different times you can heal different individuals. So moving on to weapons, there are lots of different weapons. This came with a update. There were only, I think, 6 weapons until this last update, so now there's more weapons that you can choose from. There was a recent update to the game. And then engines, different speeds, and this next engine here, the low emission engine, if it starts to get damaged, it doesn't radiate as much radiation. Escape pods, you can, as you have escape pods, when you abandon ship, you can then do missions that you might find your characters still in their space pods, and that would potentially save that character for you. The reality of it is once a character is dead and fully dead, there's no going back. So, and the saves on this game are kind of automatic. So once you get back to base, it saves it. And if you've lost a character for good, and he's dead or she's dead, that's just kind of the end of it. Moving on to equipment, you've got different equipment staging areas within the ship, and you can change what equipment is in those staging areas to an extent. Yeah, so that's the wardroom. So next we'll go on to the mission selection. There are several different types of missions. You've got low risk missions, medium risk missions, high risk missions, and although you can't see it here, there's also really high, or extremely high, I think is what it is, high risk missions. These are all the guys that I've already killed, the bounties on them, and these 2 guys are the only 2 that still have bounties outstanding that I haven't already smoked. So there's very high is the threat level for that one. So following this, we're going to pretty much go out and do a mission, so you'll get to see kind of the mission in action. Again, a couple of problems that I have with this game, primarily is I feel like you really need one more guy. I mean, you wouldn't send a ship out with unmanned stations. You'd have a man at every station so that they could all work on their own tasks. And if you look at Bomber Crew, it's I think got more personnel that are in the bomber, but this is obviously in space. So Bomber Crew in space. So generally, again, these are the engineering stations. You can up these things. I generally turn off the gravity, and then that's because all of my guys have gravity boots or magnetic boots. It gives me an extra point that I can use. And since we're missing that gunner station, I got to move the engineer over into the gunnery station. I generally move the security officer into the forward gunnery station so that all the gunnery stations are manned. So moving out into the world, the way you direct the ship is when you hit the mouse button, you can actually set a custom waypoint by using your right mouse button, or and I guess we're going to go out here to the objective area. That's the pilot, this is the communications officer, and these are the different skills that they can utilize. But we want to go towards that section or area space. That's a wormhole generator. So we got to look at it, and then it'll automatically highlight it. Once it highlights it, the pilot's going to move towards that location. You can hold tab down or hit the tab button, and that kind of speeds up time. And I think the control button also slows down time. This prioritized target, the targeting reticle, that's actually how you lock on to different targets. So I just created a custom waypoint, which basically sends my ship in that direction. Let's say I wanted to go in a direction that wasn't necessarily an automatic highlighted area. I could do that with a custom. And so then we're going to speed up, get our butt over there. And so again, with the targeting reticle, that's actually how you're going to target bad guys. And none of your gunners will fire unless the area or the bad guys have already been highlighted. Yeah, you can move your guys all around, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do a little jumping once we get close enough. I think we're already there. Yeah, we're already there. So we gotta highlight the pilot. Once we highlight the pilot, we'll be able to jump into that wormhole creator or jump portal or whatever. So we could charge our jump drive. It's about 4 seconds. If there are enemies in there, it changes to like 1:30 and and when you're charging your jump drive, you can't shoot anything. So now we're in the asteroid belt. We got radar telling us that enemies are incoming. We've highlighted the location that we want to go to. We're going to move our gunner or our engineer into the gunnery station. And now we've highlighted these guys, so our gunners are going to actually start taking action. We can also prioritize a specific target, and that'll make the gunners prioritize those guys over any other target in that section or in that area. So I really don't like how kind of choppy the interface is when you're trying to, cycle yourself around and look for enemy targets. If you don't have a guy actually manning the comm station, you won't be alerted to any of the radar information. So there are also different. So these guys basically have dropped my shields down and also my engineering. Engines or my generator, has been damaged, so it's going to output a little bit less energy. So if you look on the right there, you'll see those guys were identified as not being targeted because I got a guy manning the comms and radar station. So there's different piloting. You're going to get more evasion depending upon kind of how the pilot is piloting. At this point, I don't have anybody in the forward turret, so that forward bad. And this is actually a craft that's going to have some bad guys try to board my shuttle, but we destroyed them before they could board. So he's got some radiation coming off of his station. So you can have the turret gunners focus fire. You can have them overpower their guns, which causes some radiation. Which is why my gunners actually have radiation suits on and not armored suits. Go to the second waypoint in our mission. And here, we're just waiting for the bad guys to show up. We've got an elite bad guy who, and he has just showed up on the scene. we're going to call for some fighter support with our comms officer. So now we've got some fighters in the area that are going to engage targets as well. Better get this turret back up. And once we kill the priority guy, all the other bad guys are going to flee. And those are the fighters right over there. And we got some more bad guys showing up. Those are our fighters flying in formation. And our shields are down in the front. We got 1% shield on our left shield, and our rear shields are going down too. So, do performance analysis. That's going to actually give us more experience per bad guy killed. We moved to stealth mode so that our guns stop firing, but we can also recharge all those shields. We'll turn the stealth mode off. Go back to shooting at the bad guys. We're going to overdrive, make our guns shoot a little bit faster. We got some more bad guys showing up to the party. Our fighters are still playing. And that's the bad guy, that's the primary target. Once we destroy him, everybody else is going to bug out. And our shields are low. Looks like our reactor's been damaged. Again, I feel like there should be more guys, more of our guys, because, you know, they can't. It's a management game, right? So they want us to manage basically the use of the ship, but I feel like you should just have everybody should be, you know, every station should be manned. I think it's dumb that every station's not manned. Our shields are down. It looks like our comms officer just got incapacitated. I'm going to use one of those med packs to heal him. And we actually stopped moving so that I could use some of the other things that are going on. So we got both of these guys are damaged. I want to heal them. All three of the bridge crew has all been incapacitated at this point. We'll get the stealth mode on. We'll go ahead and heal everybody and then start moving again so that you can kind of see the rest of it. There'll be damage to your ship, and then you'll use the fire extinguishers to put out any fire, or you could purge all of the air, which will take all the fires out. So we'll just use that medical station so that all of our guys are healed again, because we still have to go back home. And to get there, we're going to be going through the first jump area. We'll replenish shields here. Some shields are down. So I really like how the damage to the ship gives you that, you know, the kind of peels the paint off of the ship, which is cool. We can do a fast jump, which just jumps us no matter what. We don't necessarily have to be at a jump point for that. Let's go ahead and turn the engines back on. And they also use radiation missiles. That's a radiation missile that basically is locked up or stuck on the ship and it's causing radiation damage. But so yeah, bad guys killed. All the other bad guys have bugged out, so now it's just time to head home. And we'll spend some of the time in transit healing our guys. So as you can see, the medical icon, it's got that circular ring around it. As I heal my characters, the green circle is lessened. Depending on how good of a healing center you've got, it'll give you more healing or less healing. So you can also use those medical bags to heal your characters or heal each other, or not. We're just going to head on back to the first jump point and then back to the station, to safety. Just like Mom always said, always keep a pair of clean underwear and make sure you're close to safety. Whenever you pull the pilot out of the ship just stops moving, so if you wait long enough at a jump point or in a system, even after you've killed all the bad guys, if you wait long enough, then the bad guys will reappear. But that generally takes quite a long time. Sometimes I'll wait at the jump point, because the longer you wait, your attributes, your abilities for your different individuals kind of charge back up. So I'll kind of charge the engines and sort of wait there until the bad guys show up, and at that point I'll either jump out. I usually just jump out, but you could potentially uncharge the engines and kill the bad guys again and get some more skill points. So we're back at the asteroid station. This actually has a location that we'll actually be going to, so we can retrieve this item. There are individual items that are kind of out there in space. So I'm going to retrieve this escape pod that we found just kind of out there, and it's just by chance. You never know if you're going to have those. You could jump out of a system and then back into the system, and one of those events has occurred. It's just pure chance. We're going to retrieve this escape pod, and we got this guy. They're going to sit down in that room, and we'll get back on our way. I'm going to go over here. Now, sometimes when you're on your way back, bad guys will appear, so you definitely want to be prepared for bad guys showing up. So it looks like we've been in this system a little too long, and so the enemy are incoming. You can see on the scanner mode there that some bad guys are showing up, but they're not going to get here before I jump out of system. So, all right, and so that's pretty much SpaceCrew in a nutshell. We're going to go ahead and land here at the Athena space station, and we'll get all of the things that are due to us. But if you haven't hit that like button or hit the subscribe button and you're not subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you do that. Hopefully I've earned your subscription. It means a lot to me, and so I'd really appreciate it. And we're going to try to get a video out every month. And with that, I bid you a fond farewell. As always, if you got some interested in certain games and you want me to do a video on it, let me know. Thanks for coming in.